truck did come down. Ah! That was crazy. What an ambush. Today I'm going to share with you a simple script that will allow you to set up an ambush with infantry or vehicles of your choice and then have them spawn and move to attack. Spawn ambush script. Here we have a prowler vehicle and the player is the driver. All the other units are under his command. Now for an ambush, we are going to go to this location, and at this corner here we're going to set up an ambush point. Now I'm going to share with you a script today. In the editor here, we're going to go to the scenario tab at the top and then down to open scenario folder, and we're going to install the script. In another mission I have the ambush script. So here is the script here, and I'm just going to copy it and paste it into the... So here's the spawn ambush.sqf. I'm going to zip this up and link it for download in the description of the video, and when you get it, just put the script into your mission folder just like I did here. Let's open the script and review it. Alright, so here's the script. I spent a little time putting together spawn ambush. It's got a pretty simple concept, and I kind of got this idea from Red Dead Redemption 2 from my mod in building ambush points. Let's go over what this script does. The script spawns single infantry units and vehicles at individual markers and then tells them to move with combat behavior to a central marker designated as the ambush point. Now that's basically the locations that you choose, of course. Both infantry and vehicles will have their own markers they use to spawn, and then both will move to the same rally marker. So how to use, basically you're going to place unit markers, and you can name those markers what you want, and then of course you're going to place vehicle markers. You're going to place a rally or center marker. This is going to be the ambush point, and of course there is a trigger that you need to set up to call the script. Now let's scroll down. We're going to set this up to accommodate our mission here. Here you have a config, and you got three things you can edit. The first one is side. This is the faction side that the enemy ambushers are going to be from. So what you're going to want to do is you could have blue 4 attack, you could have east attack or up 4, or you could have independent or resistance. So all you need to do here is we're going to change this to resistance because that's going to be our enemy today. And we just go like this. Now, if you want to type this, you could do that too, but it's a little bit faster copying and pasting. Now you have this next line, rally. This is basically rally marker. This is going to be the ambush point or the location at which all these enemy units are going to converge on. Right here in between the quotes is going to be the marker name. Now it doesn't have to be ambush, mark center. It could be something else, but wherever you're going to decide to have it, you're going to put it here. But we're going to use this, and all you need to do is just have a name in there, and then of course when you place a marker in the mission, this is going to be a variable name of that marker. Right here is use SAD or search and destroy. So this is set to true. So what this means is when the ambush goes off and the enemy converges onto the final marker, this marker center here, what they'll do then after that is they will search and destroy after they move. If you don't want that, then just set this to false. Now down here is the infantry ambush spawns. You have an array here that's going to define your soldiers and their markers at which they're going to spawn at. So you have marker name, which is, I already set ambush 1, ambush 2. These are all marker names. Then you have the unit class name. This is very customizable. You can have as little or as many as units you want to ambush you or whomever. Here you have one unit that is going to spawn, and this right now is OB4 CSAT soldier class name, and this is going to be the marker he's going to spawn at. Place the markers that you want for the infantry and put those names here. and then get the class name of the type of soldiers that you want to attack, and then put them in the quotes. And then if you want more than 6, because this is about 6, then just add a comma. You could probably just copy this, hit enter, press Control V, make this 7 if you're going to use the same marker name, and then put the new class name here. And of course the last one doesn't get a comma. We're just going to save that for now. We're not going to use that because I'm going to show you how to get the class names to add to this. And then here, if you scroll down a little bit more, you have vehicle ambush spawns. Now here, just like the above, is for vehicles. This section here is commented out, so it doesn't do anything. It's just an example of how the actual code works. So here you have marker name, and then you have vehicle class name, and of course the vehicle bool. So this is an example array spawning 2 vehicles, and this right here below it is the actual array. This is the actual array. This is 1 vehicle. So what you're going to do is, just like the infantry above here, you're going to have a marker with a variable name placed in here. I just put vehicle 1, VEH1. And then after the quotes here, in between the quotes, you're going to put the class name of the vehicle that you want to help ambush or ambush. Now this right here, crew bool, which is this is set to true. That means that a crewed vehicle will spawn and drive to the rally point or the center, like what these guys are going to do. Now if you set this to false, like it is here, then basically an empty parked truck or whichever vehicle that you choose to use will spawn instead and will not move. They will not move at all. So you could use this for different things. You could use this like as like a blockade or something. So you could put a vehicle that spawns way ahead of, like, let's say you're driving down the road and your group goes through a trigger that spawns, you know, the units and the vehicles, etc., and you have 1 vehicle that is set to empty. Well, you could have him on the road, kind of blocking the roadway, forcing your group to stop, and then your enemy basically attacks them. You could do stuff like that. This is the array that you want to actually edit. So right now, this is a marker for named vehicle 1, and this is the class name to a vehicle, and this is true, which means it'll be crewed. So what you do here, if you want to add 2 vehicles to this, is just copy this, hit enter, press Control V, and then put a comma on the top one. Now for every new vehicle you add, let's say we added another one, you're going to put a comma. Remember, the last one does not get a comma. So we're just going to have 1 vehicle, and we're going to take the comma away. We're just going to save this. We're going to go back into the editor. Alright, we're going to go to F6 and let's scroll in. And we need to decide where we're going to place these markers. Now, we're going to just place empty markers. And we're going to set these markers up in locations that are going to be fitting for this ambush. So let's take a look at where these markers are at. So this is kind of what you're going to want to figure out, is where are these guys going to spawn. So we're going to put a guy right here. He's going to spawn right here, and we're just going to make the marker face that way. So remember, each individual marker is 1 soldier that will spawn. So we're going to edit the marker. We're going to name it AB1. And then we're going to copy this marker because it already has a name on it, that what we want. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to go right here, place another marker, make it face this way, edit that. We're going to make this say AB2, A and B2. And then from there, let's see, we're going to put another unit back here. Edit this. We're going to put A and B3. And we only have 6 guys to work with, so we'll put another guy right here. and B4, and then the last two are going to come from behind. So let's see, we'll put number 5 right here, and B5, and then the next one we will put right here, and B6. Alright, so that's the infantry markers. That's where they're going to spawn at. Now let's place a marker for the vehicle. We're going to have him up here. That way he drives down the road. Yeah, we'll just do that. Whether he drives down the road or not, it all depends. So this one is going to be VEH1. And that's it. Now what we need to do is place a marker for the central location. So we're just going to use an objective marker. Put it right about here. And this one we're going to name amb_center. This is our center marker. This is the ambush point. This is where when the player hits the trigger, all these guys will spawn, come out of their hiding. The vehicle will come down the road. Hopefully they come down the road, unless they go somewhere else. But they will try to converge on this area. The next thing is to set up a trigger. And we're going to place a trigger with 100 meters in size. I know it's too big, but we're going to reduce it. We're going to actually put the trigger just before the marker, because we want to have time for all the ambushers to get to this point. So I mean, I'm not saying where you hit the ambush point and all of a sudden these guys are all here before you even get there. I mean, you'll be able to easily kill them. The point is to trigger the trigger in such a way that by the time you get to this point, you'll see these guys coming in. And it really depends on how far you got the marker set for them to spawn. So let's scroll out and let's square this up. We're going to make this a rectangle marker. We're going to set this to repeatable. In the on activation box, we're going to take the code from the script. I'm going to do that real quick. And you're going to paste the code right here. So that's all you have to do for that. And to make it interesting to know that you're being ambushed, I mean, you won't know all of a sudden enemies showing up. We're going to put a hint. So let's put a hint, quote, ambush, with an exclamation point in capital letters, end quote, and then semicolon. Now you don't have to do this part, but you do need this part to call the script for the ambush to work. And now, since we are playing blue 4, we're going to set this to blue 4. We're going to set the repeatable. That means when you trigger the ambush again after all enemies are dead, then the ambush can happen again if you want. So we'll just hit OK. That's good for that. And let's resize this trigger to a good size that works. Mainly on the road because we're using the road. And let's do something like that. And let's maybe go like that. So you're going to run through this trigger. All these guys are going to spawn. By the time you reach this in a vehicle, which is pretty fast, these guys will be out of their hiding positions. Like this guy back here doesn't have far to go to get here. This guy just got to come around the wall. This guy is pretty much already here. And then of course you got the truck or whatever you're going to put coming too. And then of course you got these guys. Alright, so let's save that. We're going to make these markers transparent so you don't see them on the map. Go to your entities panel, just click on one of them just like this. And then hold down left shift and then click on the last one. And then go to right click and then go to attributes. Now at the bottom here it says marker style. Go to where it says alpha. This is the transparency. Basically you're going to take this bar and bring it all the way down to 0, or you could just put 0 here. You just hit hit OK. Click on the map until all these are unhighlighted. You'll see the markers disappear. So now if you actually go to the map, you can't see the markers. So let's save that, and the next thing we need to do is actually get the infantry units now that we want that are going to do the ambush. So we're going to go to F2, and then since we're on Livonia, we're going to go to Independent, and we're going to go to Looters, Infantry, and then we're going to go to Criminal Gang. We're going to place this group, and since this is already 6 units, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's perfect for our ambush. So if you're playing independent, just keep in mind that if you go to attributes and in general, you're going to need to set independence allegiance to blue 4. So if you're playing as blue 4 or even op 4, just be sure to change their factions so they're not friendly to blue 4 like that, or friendly to op 4 if you're playing as op 4. So make sure that they are set to combat, otherwise they're not going to attack you. What we're going to do here is we're going to highlight all these guys, highlight them all, right click one of them, then you're going to go down to where it says log, and then log classes to clipboard. Now once you click that, the menu disappears, then delete the units, save your mission, and then we're going to go back to the script and add the class names to the array. So we have these set up already. We got them as resistance. We have a marker named sender. They're going to search and destroy once they spawn and get to the center point. And now we need to put down the infantry class names. So to do this, I'm going to give you an easy way to do this. Instead of doing one at a time, just give it some space here like this, and then press Control V. And all the class names that you saved in the editor are going to basically paste. So what you're going to do here is you're going to copy one of them and just replace each one of these class names with the new class name. Alright, this last one was extra for demonstration, but once you get that done, just delete that and bring this up. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then remember the last end of the array doesn't need a comma. That's very important, otherwise you're going to get an error and it's not going to load. Next, we're going to do the vehicle class names. So we're going to put a vehicle class name right here. We already have the marker established. So let's go back in game and get a class name for the vehicle. We're going to go to units this time, and we're going to collapse this. We're going to go to FIA because looters doesn't have anything but men. And we're going to choose a car, and we're going to choose an off-road truck with an HMG. So we're going to just put this right here, and this is basically the vehicle that is going to spawn. Alright, so just like you did the infantry, just click on the vehicle so that the vehicle is highlighted, right click it, go to log, and then log class to clipboard. Once the menu disappears, delete the vehicle, save your mission, and let's go back to the script and add that class name. So what you're going to do now is in between the quotes here, you're going to press Control V and paste the name of the vehicle. Now, seems I already have the class name set here for that vehicle, so that's fine. And the true, as we said, is going to be a crewed vehicle. And if we set this to false, then it would be a vehicle that is parked without crew. Let's save that. Let's go back in game now and test this ambush out and see how it works. Everything's set. Let's play it. Alright, so here's the crew. Alright, so we're going to go to spectator. The truck did come down. Ah! That was crazy. What an ambush. Yeah, this guy got shot at. Ooh. That was an ambush. Seems this guy didn't move, probably because of the area he's in. There might be a pathing issue around that, but this guy over here moved. He got killed, so we're gonna need to put him somewhere else. Alright, so what we need to do here is adjust the location of, let's see, what marker was it? This was ambush 6, yes. Alright, so you just need to relocate his marker. Let's move him. We'll just put him right here. And he should be able to move. So for some reason there's something going on here with the buildings. It seemed like everybody else moved no problem. I think this guy here might have an issue. I think this was number 4. Yeah, this is number 4. We'll just move him out just so that he's not kind of in there. And we'll try that. Alright, so those are the kind of adjustments that you might need to make because some of the terrain is preventing, you know, proper pathing. But the vehicle itself worked good, so we're going to go with that. Alright, let's test that again and see how that went. This time I'm going to set them all to combat. All 3 engage at will. Alright, here we go. Get ready. Ambush. Come on, engage. Oh yeah. Nice. Dusty. Yeah, that's because we went through the ambush again. Yeah, somehow we re-triggered the ambush point because once you kill all the ambushers and you drive through the ambush trigger again, then it's going to respawn everybody. You can see how more or less of a challenge this could be to get ambushed and what type of enemies you could use. So many ways to set this up, you know, different enemies, different vehicles, or no vehicles, a couple enemies, whatever you want to do. It's customizable like that. Alright guys, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you guys on the next video. More codes and scripts, check out this playlist.